Hey, what's going on, my beautiful people? This is Certified Life and Relationship Coach, Coach Court. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most popular videos that I've ever released on this YouTube channel. And it's what are the 5 signs that a dismissive avoidant actually cares. I felt like that it was long overdue for this video to be shot, and I wanted to just revisit a video that I did probably back in like 21 or 22. Now I know what people are going to say in the comment section. Who cares if they care? They're narcissists, they're this, they're that. But the whole purpose of me doing this video, once again, is for you guys to get an understanding that it's not anything personal that they're doing to you. But I'm going to tell you that a lot of the way that we operate as human beings is 95% subconscious. So when you're in a relationship with someone that's more on the avoidance side, they can't even understand consciously what they're actually doing. And once again, if you ever get yourself involved in a relationship with someone and you know your mental health is starting to slip, I would suggest that you exit this relationship. There's a good chance that they may do some harm to you emotionally that will take a very long time to heal. Visiting this video again, the very first sign that they care is they will give you their time. And what I mean by that is they will make you a priority in their weekly or daily schedule. And this is when a lot of people will get confused, because in the beginning of the relationship, they have this healthy appetite for connection, for time spent, for quality time, quantity time, whatever you want to call it. And as they get their belly filled, that's when they start to pull back and they start to seek more of that autonomy, completely changing the way that they were operating at first. And here's my suggestion to you. When they start to do that, I personally said it is okay for you to question what's actually happening. And I know your biggest concern is pushing them further away, but how far will you bury your own needs and your concerns before you start to protest and address this issue in an unhealthy way? You should address this issue when you have more self-control, when you're more self-regulated, before you actually get triggered into that very anxious state. Number 2 is they'll offer their space. So if you ever get involved with an avoidant and they offer for you to stay the night, they offer for you to move in, that is a sign that they're being way more vulnerable than they normally are. I have a video on the channel called Don't Move In, which is about the avoidant attachment style. And I do think that you can navigate a relationship with an avoidant very healthy, which means you have to talk about what's going to be quality time, what's going to be alone time. When are they going to be available to you emotionally? Because guess what? Just because they're around you physically, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're emotionally there. I'm actually coaching a couple dismissive avoidant clients right now about just this same issue. What does quality time look like for you? And what does it look like for them? Number 3 is they'll offer up their money and their resources. Because of the way that they were raised, they pretty much had to hoard a lot of their resources because there weren't anyone that was coming to save them. So what they've learned to do is to be very frugal, be very stingy, if I'm being honest, with their resources. But when you start to see the shift and they starting to see you guys as we as a team, there's a book called Wired for Love by Stan Tatkin. I would suggest you get that book because it's about attachment styles and how you incorporate the we instead of the I and the you. You see an avoidant able to do that and they're starting to offer more resources, starting to offer to pay for things, then that's a good sign. The 4th one is they will apologize. And the reason that I put this in here year after year after year is because they will. When you start to see an avoidant becoming more secure or even starting to care more about you, they'll start to reflect on how you're feeling and what your experience is. I've had a lot of people that come to me asking if someone that was an avoidant may not have been on the spectrum, may not have some sort of autism because they're not able to put themselves in the other person's shoes. And I've seen this topic come up over and over again. I mean, sometimes you have to ask, well, were they? I mean, I've had clients even tell me that they have always thought that their partner was on the spectrum, or their partner had told them that, hey, maybe I may be on the spectrum. So do your research there. You can dive down a rabbit hole a little bit further if you feel like your person may not be just an avoidant. Maybe there's something else going on. But when they start to apologize to you, that lets you know that, hey, I understand where you're coming from and I feel what you're feeling right now. And they don't care. And the toxic shame that they feel from being always wrong in their childhood or always being the scapegoat, because I see a lot of times they were the scapegoat, insecure to attachers, period, I saw as being more the scapegoats when they were younger. Then they're putting their pride to the side to make sure that the relationship proceeds in a healthy manner. And the 5th one is they will follow up on a previous argument. So let's say that you guys had a disagreement and they may have checked out. What happened usually in someone who has a dismissive avoidant attachment style childhood is a lot of things got swept under the rug. There weren't a lot of conversations being had. There may have been some uncomfortable emotions or some tension, but people never came. But the family members can. But the family members rarely came back to the table to talk about what they're feeling and why they said what they said, or why they blew up, or why things got out of hand. So when they really have feelings for someone and they start to self-reflect, they're able to come back to the table with those conversations and to help make the other person feel comfortable. Because usually what happens is you have that avoidant and that anxious dance going on. The anxious person usually always takes a responsibility and accountability for whatever the situation was. Even if they were trying to communicate their needs in a healthy manner, if the avoidant pulled away and started to shut down, they still took accountability for that because they felt like maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But when an avoidant starts to understand who you are and sees that you may have become dysregulated from that argument, they'll come back to the table and then they'll apologize, like I said before. So guys, if you found this video of any value, please like, comment, and share. You can reach out to me on my other social media accounts. Instagram is I am Coach Court. Facebook is Coach Court. And right here on YouTube is Coach Court. Thank you guys. And always remember, when you go be loved, you'll never have to find it. Namaste.